Welcome back to FleetFooted episode 2. Before we get into today's topic, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all who have subscribed, liked the video, commented on the video. I'm getting love from people that I didn't even expect. Just really wanted to say I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very encouraging. Thank you so much. So we are going to get into it today. And as you can see, I'm wearing an Arsenal shirt, so it's going to be an Arsenal-focused content, basically. And I think this is probably the best going forward. The feedback I've gotten from people on the Instagram and whatnot is that a lot of people like to hear me talk about Arsenal specifically, obviously, because I support them. So I figure we're going to focus on Arsenal going forward. But I'm still going to be tuning into the Premier League. However, I won't be talking Premier League on the fleet-footed content. It's going to be mainly Arsenal. Arsenal and, of course, the spiritual topic for today. But like I said, let's get into it. So firstly, we are going to focus on Arsenal versus Fulham, the 3-0 result. Now, there are a lot of things I was very impressed by Arsenal this weekend. And first, let me just get it out the way. Yes, Arsenal fans, it was a great performance. We did well. I'm not trying to be pessimistic or negative here, but let's just call a spade a spade. We were massively helped by the fact that Paulinho, Fulham's best player, wasn't playing. Yes, William's been good offensively, but Paulinho wasn't playing. So we have to factor that in because it was so easy, so dominant in midfield. And I still would have backed Arsenal to win, but I highly doubt we would have had the ease and the luxury of space and time, specifically in midfield, that we had all game against Fulham. So I just want to get that out the way. But still, credit to Arsenal. You can only beat what's in front of you. 3-0 away from home, very impressive. Very impressive. Especially Fulham, who are, I believe, number 3 in the form table for the Premier League since the World Cup, after United and City in that order. So they've done really well. And obviously, I'm sure many people have spoken on the stats, the crazy stat really, that Arsenal are the first team in Premier League history to win 5 London derbies away from home without conceding. For me, I think this is huge because if you look at the wins we've had and the types of issues we've had to face per win, it makes it even all the more impressive. For example, you think the first of these away wins, Crystal Palace, 2-0 away at the start of the season. Many people may say, oh, yeah, Palace, lowest XG, whatnot, blah. That's true. But at the start of the season, this was a team that absolutely hammered us 3-0 and effectively and massively dented our top 4 hopes last season. You think about Brentford, the second game we won 3-0. 3-0 at a ground that we lost at the first game of last season, 2-0, and a team that generally caused us trouble. That like to rough us up, physical challenge, blah. But we went there, held our own, and we actually moved to them at their ground. You think Chelsea, the game. I think the Chelsea game for me was after the Fulham game, was one of the most dominant. Like Chelsea 1-0 away from home, beautiful. We were so dominant that game, right? Spurs 2-0 away, of course. No London derby. You know, especially after all of these guys from down the lane piping up, talking, to go there and to utterly dominate them, specifically that first half, and to leave with no goals conceded, especially with no Harry Kane scoring, beautiful. So I think Arsenal deserve a lot of credit for this run. Those are not easy teams to go away to and to win, probably except for Palace. So big credit to Arsenal. And it's just great. That's 5 wins on the bounce. I'm not really one to focus. You guys know my views on Arsenal versus City. City are a great team. You've got to give respect to them. They're the champions. But that being said, this Arsenal team, one of the things I've always maintained, I believe this league title is coming home to the Emirates, basically. So this is a monumental win for Arsenal, just to keep the wins going. Of course, you got Palace at home next, Leeds at home. You'd expect Arsenal to really win at home. You'd really be expecting them to win these games. But you just know, I just want to throw a caution out there for Arsenal fans. You just know, Crystal Palace they're on a winless run, haven't had a shot on target for 3 games. Watch them come to the Emirates and start balling out. Just watch them come and start trying all of the nonsense. Watch them do it. You know it's going to happen. But I'm still backing the boys to win. Same with Leeds as well. Watch them come and try to the Emirates to ball out, but I'm still backing us to get the wins. And if we get 6 points from these 2 games, man, we are going in. Like, if we get 3 points from Crystal Palace, mate, we're laughing. 3 points from Leeds, we are absolutely laughing. Heading into what, 9, 10 games left? So it's looking good for Arsenal. I just wanted to highlight a few players that really deserve some credit. Number 1, Gabriel. Gabriel was immense. He's been immense all season. Now, does he have the odd mistake in him? Yes, he does. Gabriel has that in him. But you got to take all of Gabriel. You can't take some of him, you got to take all of him. And for me, Gabriel is a player who is highly, highly underrated at Arsenal. People talking about how Zinchenko, yes, he's changed our dynamic, the inverted fullback, great. But easily, if we had to pick today, Arsenal's best defender, it's easily Gabriel. Saliba's had a phenomenal season. Yeah, he's had his wobbles, but for me, he's still been very good this season. But Gabriel has been an absolute colossus at the back. I was so pleased for him to get a goal as well. So he's just been really good for Arsenal. He had another dominant game for Arsenal. And I think one of the things I love about Arteta is if you look at his reign at Arsenal, he spent the most money on our defense. So Arsenal care a lot about, I know we've been leaking goals recently, but we care a lot about being solid from the back first and then building from there. And that's not been typified in any other player more than in Gabriel. Such a colossus for Arsenal. Really, really pleased to have him. Player number 2 that really impressed me, Thomas Partey. I mean, facts are facts. As Rafa Benitez says, it's a facts. Arsenal haven't lost a game when Thomas Partey is playing. The guy is just so important. But what really impressed me the most was his forward passes are good, but it was just very, Fulham made it easy, fair enough, but just dominant game. So Partey did well for me. Ødegaard, the work rate of Martin Ødegaard. This is something that I love in Ødegaard this season. Yes, is he impressing himself more in games in terms of his goals and assists? Yes, he is, which I'm happy about. But I just feel his presence when Arsenal are playing. I know he's playing. I remember when we signed him on loan, you could see there was a good player there, but still not asserting himself on games as much. And then when we bought him fully last season, and then he was playing, you could still, again, great player, starting to have a bit more influence, but there were so many games last season, more than often, that I'm just, okay, Martin, you're a good player, I know that. I want to see you dominate. I want to see, even if you don't score or have an assist, I want to feel that you're playing in the match. But now Ødegaard, I know he's playing. If this guy, I saw him making so many runs deep into our own half. Defending, looking to win the ball back. Saka did it a lot. Trossard did it a lot. I'm going to get to him. So he really impressed me. But of course, player that really impressed me the most, Trossard. Trossard has been, wow, he has been an incredible signing. I got asked on the Big Six Extra a few at the end of the January transfer window what we rate in Arsenal's window out of 10. I said 8 out of 10 because we've gotten what we needed. We have gotten players who are Premier League proven, who can fill in the problem positions we have, which was we needed more depth in the attacking areas to help if Martinelli and Saka are off form, and we needed someone to cover in midfield, basically. And Arsenal did that. We didn't get Caicedo, we didn't get Mudryk, but man, oh man, am I pleased with Trossard. I am pleased with him. The guy is such a good player. But he works hard, but he's such an intelligent player. I knew he was intelligent, but man, he is intelligent. If you just watch the way he plays, he's given us a completely different, and I believe I pin the change in Arsenal's freshness all on him. I think that was probably the most slick attacking performance we've had since the World Cup. Now, of course, Xhaka played probably his best game since the World Cup. But Trossard is just a big part of the good things you're seeing from Arsenal. And Nketiah came in, did a great job. His goals were so vital, helped us. But I really believe Trossard has brought us the closest to how we were playing pre-Gabby Jesus injury. And it's a massive credit to him. So it's just great. It's crazy to see, how's it going to work when I believe Gabriel Jesus will start. But it's going to be interesting to see who starts on that left, because Trossard, the way he's playing, it's do you drop him? But then it brings up a new problem for Arsenal. This guy's playing so well, he can't be on drop. Maybe we can rest Saka. Maybe stick Trossard on the right. He's so fluid. He can play across that front line, and he does such a great job. really, really good on the ball. Very, very safe. Protects the ball. So really, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident about Arsenal. I mean, we had our wobbly moment a few weeks ago, but it's just really great to see the character of the boys. And yeah, like let's just keep winning. Focus on ourselves. Let's not focus on City. I just want to comment. All due respect to Man City. They're the champions. We got to respect them, you know. But that being said, I know the season's not done. But that being said, like I feel like a lot of people are still waiting for Arsenal to trip up. Oh, but this. Okay, yeah, yep. Oh, but can they do this? But can they do that? Are they gonna win this? Oh, I still expect, people still expect Man City to go on this mad run. I'm still waiting for the run. Like, fair enough, they beat Palace, great. That's a great win, not playing well. Fair enough, they beat Newcastle at home, clean sheet to boot. That's great. But that being said, I heard a crazy stat today. Man City haven't won 4 Premier League games on the bounce this season. You heard that. They've only won 3 games max on the bounce this season. That for me is mad. If you compare that to the title winning Man City, stringing 14, 18 wins in a row. So I share that just to give context. Like, fair enough. I see why people are still preferring Man City. They're the champions. Yeah, they're allowed to have the odd moment, the odd slip-ups. But it's just, I share that just to put into context just how great a job Arsenal are doing this season. That we have 5 points behind City. Not bad. We're 5 points in front of City before Gabi Jesus got injured. Now he's come back into the team and we're still 5 points clear then. I mean, that deserves a lot of credit from Arsenal. So wasn't surprised to see Arsenal sweep up in the London Football Awards yesterday as well. So really, yesterday or Sunday, whichever day it was. But really, really impressed with the team. Just wanted to quickly comment on Sporting Lisbon away. A draw is a good result. So it's not an easy place to come to. The only thing I was annoyed with is that, like, I think the only way Arsenal actually are, because we've been so good this season, the only way we actually lose games is if we bottle it. I find it rare to really see teams completely outplay us. I think Arsenal are their own undoing, because we have these moments where, as you saw in the Sporting game, so we had to ride a few chances, well, a great chance they had, probably the first 5 to 10 minutes. Then we settled, everything was calm, started getting on the ball more, scored the goal. We were thinking, okay, great. And then we start getting complacent. And this is something that I've seen in Arsenal a lot. Just that complacency that can creep in when we're dominating teams. You saw it a bit in Ramsdale in the first half against Fulham. You know, we were utterly dominant. And this guy's trying to all of a sudden turn into, you know, Alisson playing with the ball. Like, no. That's not your job. Be professional. And I think this is something that I saw. I believe ultimately this cost us with Sporting Lisbon. You know, we weren't professional in the moments we needed to be professional, and they're a good team. Marcus Edwards, good player. The guy they had up front, I mean, decent player. Like they caused us problems, but it was good for us to go to such an atmosphere, a ground, make 6 changes, and still leave with a draw. Granted, we did go ahead, so it's disappointing not to get the W. But overall, good result for Arsenal, and I hope to beat them in 2 days. I really hope we beat them. I'll be shocked if we don't. Not to be overconfident, but like you'd expect Arsenal at home with the crowd behind you to win. So and I'm hoping we play a strong team as well, because if we're in Europa League, why not go for it? Go for both. And so that being said, I wanted to speak on something though from the Sporting game that actually leads to the spiritual topic that I want to talk about today. So our young 22-year-old Polish centre-back Kivio, Jakub Kiwior, played his debut game for Arsenal. Right? For me, I didn't think he had a bad game, to be honest. But obviously, he's going to get criticised for that moment, the goal we conceded. Now, one of the things that really bothered me was, number one, I don't think he ducked. I mean, number one, I don't think he just ducked. Yeah, I don't think he ducked out the way. Come on, the guy is Polish. Which Polish people do you know that shy away from hard work or grafting or getting stuck in? Every Polish person I know, there's lots of Poles where I live in West London. Every single one of them that I've met, they're blue-collar guys that work hard. That's the background that Kivio is coming from. I highly, highly doubt he's ducking away from a challenge or a physical battle. I personally believe Turner would have given him a shout, you know. But what I didn't really, what I disliked was the amount of stick he got, not from Arsenal fans, well, maybe some, but I believe the majority of fans were supportive of him. But the amount of stick he got from pundits. You heard Dean Ashton saying, oh, that's embarrassing. It's like, bruh, chill. He's a 22-year-old centre-back. It's his debut game against Sporting Lisbon away, who have been good in the Champions, who were good in the Champions League. Like, come on. I found it ridiculous. And it irked me because I believe this is something specifically in Britain. The British media does this a lot to young players. They just discourage them. Like, bro, he's a 22-year-old centre-back bought from Spezia in Italy. The last thing he needs are former players discouraging him. And this is something that I've not just seen in Kivio. You see it in Rashford last season. You saw it in Rashford last season. Jadon Sancho, Grealish, young players being bought for specific. Mudryk as well. He's already getting it. But just this culture to discourage young players. And it got me thinking, because young men's greatest need today, many people, young men, not just young men, but all men in general, the greatest need for men today isn't partying, it's not money, it's not sex, it's not people thinking they're awesome. The greatest need for young men today is encouragement. There we say the greatest need for men today is encouragement. Encouragement. Men need encouragement. Young players need encouragement. You see how much confidence, like, think about it, guys. Confidence and encouragement, it does wonders for a player. You see the difference between a player when he's encouraged and confident and when he's discouraged and not. It's tied to their confidence, you know. You think about Rashford. I'm so pleased for Marcus Rashford. You think about how low he was on confidence, and you see what Ten Hag has done. New manager. I'm sure he would have built Rashford up. I'm sure he would have encouraged him, reminded him of who he is, as opposed to how he's playing. And now you see what's happening. You see he's flourishing. And this issue of discouragement, it's not a new thing. It's actually something that comes all the way from the Bible. You think about encouragement and confidence. The two go hand in hand together. And you think today, the greatest source of encouragement, it's not from how good you look, going to the gym. Trust me, I know. I've gone to the gym. I'm in good shape. But you don't get encouragement from that. Encouragement doesn't come from how much money you make. It doesn't come from how many women or how many women you can sleep with or your body count. It doesn't even come from what your friends think of you. Encouragement comes, the greatest source of encouragement comes today from the Word of God. Why do I say that with confidence? You think about who God is. You think about his character. You think about Jesus. From the beginning of time, his aim has always been to encourage people. You think about Abraham. He called Abraham at an old age and told him, hey, I'm going to do great things for you. He called Moses at a time when Moses was running away, said, you're going to lead my people. He called Gideon, who was at the time acting like a weakling. He said, hey, I'm with you, mighty warrior. You see Joshua, a guy spoken of in the book of Joshua, when Moses, a great leader, had died. God said, hey, I'm going to be with you. I'm going to give you confidence. Be strong, be courageous. You see Jesus did it as well with one of his apostles, with Peter. Peter's original name is Simon, which means, I can't remember what it means. But Peter's name was Simon, you know. But Jesus says to Simon, you are Peter. He said to him, hey, you're Peter. Peter in the Greek is Cephas. Cephas means rock. So Peter, if anyone has read the Bible, Peter had a lot of weaknesses. Peter got corrected a lot, but every time Jesus said to him, hey, you are Peter. You are a rock. You are solid. Jesus saw his weaknesses and encouraged him based on who he was. And when I say encouragement, I don't just mean, hey, flatter someone's ego, tell them a bunch of things about themselves that's not true just to inflate their ego. That's not encouragement. Encouragement is reminding someone about who they are, the good qualities, the honest qualities about them based on who they are, based on who you see that they will be, not just this artificial fake flattery to make someone feel good. And I feel like a lot of men are starved of encouragement today. Reason why is because they look to get encouragement from all these other things, which just fades away. The greatest source of encouragement that a man can get today is from God. I want to ask you guys, Where do you get what encourages you? Assess or evaluate your environment. Is it an encouraging environment or is it a discouraging environment? I can speak from personal example. I'm someone that needs a lot of encouragement. I didn't believe that though. I believed before I became a Christian, what I needed was to get the right job. What I needed was to have the right career. What I needed was to be in the best shape. Those are all good things. Bear in mind, I'm not saying you shouldn't go for those things. Those are good things. I thought what I needed was to sleep with a girl beautiful enough so I can get the validation of people. But none of those things were sustainable enough. The thing I never knew I needed the most was constant reassurance, constant encouragement, constant confidence being poured into me. And the best place I get that now for me, number one, in my times with God, but number two, in the godly relationships I have around me. Men who are going to be honest with me, but also going to remind me who I am, what my identity is. And that's the thing. That's the thing I really think a lot of men are starved of today. You think about suicide rates among men. You think about depression rates among men today. It's because a lot of them aren't getting encouragement. So I want to speak to you guys. Evaluate your environment. Is it one that's encouraging or is it one that's discouraging? If it's discouraging, it's okay. I was there too. You can change that. You can change that today. You can make a decision to say, you know what? I need encouragement. I want to promise you, men, if there's anything you thought you needed that you never knew you needed, it's encouragement. I want to encourage you. Get encouragement. Be around the right type of people. But the first person you got to be around to encourage yourself in the way you need to in order to sustain you and give you the confidence, identity, and purpose you need is God. So I want to encourage you to do that. And I want to encourage anyone here that's listening. If you realize that, hey, my situation's not as encouraging as it could be, feel free to message me. Message my Instagram at FleetFooted, FleetFooted. Drop a comment on the YouTube. Please reach out to me. Reach out to my personal Instagram, which I'll put on the YouTube channel. Reach out to me and we can talk about it. I can share with you how daily encouragement from God and from other people in my life has changed who I am. So that being said, guys, that's what I wanted to speak on today. I wanted to, of course, focus on what Arsenal did well, but also talk about this issue of encouragement and discouragement and how it can be the difference maker for many men, whether young footballers or even old men today. We need encouragement. So guys, thank you so much for listening to episode 2 of Fleet-Footed. Any sort of things you want me to talk about, please make sure to comment on the video. Please also make sure to like it, subscribe it, share it with people who you think may also be struggling with this issue like I was. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Hope to see you again for episode number 3. Take care.